What's up guys, it's your trainer Katie Corio here, and today I'm going to show you 5 glute exercises that are amazing for booty growth. You should incorporate these into your weekly routine. Make sure you do each one at least once a week and try to lift as heavy as you can with proper form. Before we jump into this video, if you're here for the Strong and Lean series, stay tuned till the end to see my physique update and my progress. All right, let's get into it. The first exercise we're going to do is the squat. Now you can do high bar squats where the bar sits on top of your shoulders, or you can do what I'm doing, which is the low bar squat where the bar sits on your shoulder blades, kind of above your rear delt, a little bit farther down on the back. The reason I like to do the low bar squat for glutes is because it actually targets the glutes and the hamstrings more. It activates them more and you can do heavier weight. So that's for maximum growth. Now, when you squat, no matter what, high bar or low bar, you should be locking the bar down on your back so that the bar is pinned against your body. Now, when you're at the top of your squat, I want you to take a huge breath, lock that air in, throw those elbows down so you're pulling the bar into your back as tight as possible, then drop down into your squat without letting the air out until you get to the bottom. Now, when you get to the bottom of the squat, I want you to squeeze your glutes, push your knees out to the sides, and exhale all that air that you had in, driving your hips up, and your body comes up to the top of the squat. Now, you should never lock out your knees. Your knees should always have a slight bend in them. You never ever want to lock out because you don't want the weight to transfer to your joints. That's very dangerous for your joints. Now, the squat can be difficult to learn how to do, so I always recommend starting with very lightweight, making sure you get that form perfect, and then increasing from there. The next exercise we're gonna do is the Sumo Deadlift. Now, the sumo means that you have a sumo stance, so your legs are gonna be a little bit wider than hip width apart, and your shoes are gonna face at a 45-degree angle from your body. Now you grab the bar just inside your legs, so that should be straight down from where your shoulders are. So you don't need to grab the bar in the middle, and you definitely don't want to grab it outside of your legs. So breathing technique with the Sumo Deadlift is the same as the squat. You're gonna breathe in tons of air, lock it into your belly, then you're gonna grab the bar, and as you come up, you're gonna squeeze your glutes and exhale all that air out. The breathing is really key for improving your lifts and for protecting your muscles like your spine. The Sumo Deadlift is amazing for targeting the glutes specifically because of the way that you're standing and the way that you do the deadlift. It is almost purely glutes. The third exercise we're gonna do is the conventional deadlift. Now, what makes this a conventional deadlift over the sumo is your feet placement. So you're going to stand exactly hip width distance apart, and instead of your arms going on the inside of your legs, this time they'll go just outside of your knees. So you'll grab the bar just outside of your knees. It should still be just directly down from where your shoulder is. So the same as the squat and the sumo deadlift, you're gonna breathe in, lock that air in your stomach, and the reason that we do that is because it creates a really stable core, which is going to protect your low back and all of your spine. So when you're at the bottom of the deadlift, you're going to squeeze those glutes and let the bar come up, sort of dragging along your legs. You don't want the bar to go out of your body. You want it to stay very close to your body. The best way to do all of these exercises is to start very light and get the movement down really well before you add a ton of weight. The conventional deadlift is going to target your hamstrings as well as your glutes, but it's still amazing for overall strength and glute growth. One thing to make sure of when you do any sort of deadlift is when you get to the top, don't overextend your hips. Don't come forward with your hips so that your back is pinched. You want to just come to neutral, and that's it. Make sure you squeeze those glutes at the top. We want to squeeze the cheese, as I like to say. Deadlifting and squatting, if you do them properly, they're not a pretty exercise. So don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. If you really want to see that glute growth and the improvement in your glutes and hamstrings, make sure to actually squeeze them at the top. The fourth exercise I'm going to show you today is a good morning. Now, I put the bar in low bar position, which is going to be better for this exercise because, as you can see, the whole exercise is driving backwards with the hips. So a lot of people have trouble with this because they're not exactly sure how the movement should be. But you're gonna set up just like the squat, and your feet are gonna be just about hip width distance apart. Your toes can be outward a little bit. And then from this stance, you wanna keep a nice bend in your knee and just simply drive the hips backwards toward the wall behind you and let the bar fold your upper body in half. You wanna go to about where your upper body is about parallel to the floor. And then when you get to that point, you're just gonna squeeze the glutes, which is gonna catapult your upper body back to the normal position. So like I said, go light with this one until you get the movement right. And this can be one of the best exercises for that booty and also the tie-in where your glutes meet your hamstrings. I know that that's a problem area for a lot of people. This is the exercise that will target it the best. So a tip for you guys on this exercise is to go very slow and very controlled. You do not want this to be a jerky movement. You want to control every single inch of movement throughout the whole exercise. So take it slow, feel the burn, protect that back with breathing and locking in the air around your belly, and never ever lock out your knees. The last exercise I'm gonna show you today is one of my favorites, and it's easy to do even for beginners. It's the Goblet Squat. So a tip with the Goblet Squat, you're gonna have your feet about hip width distance, maybe a little bit wider. Your feet can be pointing out about 45 degrees, whatever feels the best for you and your mobility. So you're gonna hold the weight in front of you. This could be a dumbbell or a kettlebell. The key is to hold the weight outside of your body. Don't let the weight rest on your chest. Make sure that it's not touching your body, but that your arms are really stable when you're holding it just under your chin. So when you have the weight there, then you're just gonna drop down into a normal squat. When you get to the bottom, make sure that you push your knees out to the sides. This will protect your knees and your hips and your low back. So make sure your knees are not caving in and you're squeezing your glutes at the bottom, coming up to a neutral position, and obviously squeezing the glutes at the top as well. Now the Goblet Squat may be a great place for you guys to start if you're beginners and you can't really get comfortable with the regular squat yet. This is a really good way to sort of introduce the squat movement to your body and get used to the flow of it before you get graduated to using the barbell. So once you're a master at this exercise, you can add another movement to this exercise to make it a bit more dynamic. So the movement you're gonna add is an RDL, which is a Romanian deadlift, also known as a stiff-legged deadlift. So you'll do one regular goblet squat, and then when you get to the top of the squat, you're going to grab the kettlebell in a way that it's easy for you to hold at the top. You're going to put your arms down so that the weight is hanging. You're gonna let your hips drive backwards to the wall behind you while your legs are staying relatively straight. Now, do not lock the legs out. There should be a slight bend, and you should feel the tension in your hamstrings and your glutes. You should let the weight fall just enough till you can't go backwards anymore. Don't let it touch the ground. And then when you get to that position where you can't fall backwards anymore with your hips, you're gonna squeeze those glutes and come back to neutral. When you come back to neutral, grab the kettlebell and do another goblet squat. So you'll alternate goblet squat, RDL, goblet squat, RDL. This flow is really, really good for targeting the glutes and the hamstrings and that whole posterior chain. And it's pretty easy to do even if you're a beginner. I just completed week 2, and literally I already see crazy differences. So here's my progress from this week. I just filmed it, which is why I'm in my bikini right now. I figured you guys wouldn't mind. But here it is. So this is me after 2 weeks on my program, and I feel like my body has more, like my muscle is more substantial, like harder, and it feels more like, you know, when you don't work out for a while, you feel kind of mushy. Like I feel like the opposite of that. Like my muscles are hard. They're like bigger, like not bigger, but just more dense, substantial. I'm really excited about that. I feel tighter. I feel like I can see more lines than I could last week. And I just kind of feel good. Like I feel like I have more energy. This week, I was able to push my strength a little bit compared to the first week. So I'm really excited about that. Like I was feeling stronger. Overall, a great week. I figured I would show you the supplements that I'm including for this program. Like, because they're gonna be a bit different than normal. I always take my vegan greens and reds. This is just a really good health supplement that I like to take every day. Helps with digestion, bloating, clears your skin, if you have skin issues. So love that, take it all the time. I'm adding Pure Rebuild, which is a creatine glutamine blend supplement for this because creatine is great for everything really, but it's really great when you're trying to build your strength and improve your performance in the gym. So I'm adding that. And the glutamine is really good for recovery. So since I'm gonna be lifting super heavy 3 times a week, full body, like I'll lift really heavy bench, really heavy legs and glutes every single time I train, I need to recover. I need to give my body that time to rest and reload and be good. So the glutamine is gonna help me do that. definitely recommend if you're trying to build muscle or if you're trying to improve your performance in the gym or sports or anything, add a creatine. I did record a creatine for women video, so check that out, it's on my channel. Of course, your girl needs some pre-workout, so adding pre-workout before I train to just give me that extra oomph for the training, and then my collagen peptides. This is really more, it's for the joints, hair, skin, nails, so this is just good to give your joints and everything else a little boost, but honestly, I take it for my hair, mostly. So, all right, another announcement I wanna make for you guys. You guys know that I have Corio Fit where I train all of my clients. Well, Corio Fit is gonna do a New Year's challenge, and it's the first challenge that I'm gonna hold with Corio Fit where you can actually win an amazing prize. More details for that to come, but if you're interested at all, please go sign up and get used to your program because the challenge is gonna start on January 10th. I'm so freaking stoked, and of course, I'm gonna do the challenge with you guys. For the winner, I'm just looking for the best transformation. So no matter if you're trying to build muscle or lean out or whatever your goal is, it doesn't have to be just losing fat. It could be whatever you choose in the app, but I'm looking for the biggest transformation, the best transformation, depending on what your goal is. So there will be 3 winners. First prize is gonna be freaking amazing, and I haven't solidified it yet, but it's a big cash prize plus a ton of goodies. And the second and third are gonna be kind of similar, but just a little less. I'm so excited to do that and to offer some prize. I've never done that before. Freaking stoked. We've had so many people, hundreds of people on Corio Fit, changing their bodies and their lives and transforming everything. So I'm so blessed to be able to coach you through it. And I'm very excited for the new year. Guys, before you go, make sure you grab that free program down in the description box. It's waiting for you. Also, if you'd like me to be your personal trainer, I am ready when you are, and you can sign up through this Corio Fit link here. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel right here if you like this video. It does help me out so much, so I really am grateful for that. You can also check out the Corio Active YouTube channel through this link here and see some other related video right here. Thanks for watching.